When I was 19 years old, I dropped out of college. And dropping out of college up to that point was the single greatest leap of faith that I had ever taken in my whole entire life. And it would be an understatement to say that I was absolutely petrified about my future, but at the same time, I also felt the most liberated and the most free that I had ever felt up to that point. And ever since then, I have been pursuing the path that I want to pursue, because taking that leap of faith gave me the courage to do so. That leap of faith gave me the courage to take other leaps of faith, which I will also talk about in this video, which ultimately brought me to this point right here, where I am filming this video here in the Netherlands to make money, to make actual real money, which will allow me to continue living in the Netherlands and potentially even move to another country if that's what I desire in the future. But anyways, I dropped out of college when I was 19 years old, and the main reason why I dropped out of college was because I didn't feel like college was taking me where I wanted to go. I felt like I was putting in work that ultimately would not be rewarded in the way that I would like. You see, what I noticed was that a lot of people seemed to be content with the idea of going to college so that they could work a 9-to-5 to pay off the debt that they had accumulated in college so that they could get the 9-to-5, continuing to do that until they're in their 60s or nowadays in their 70s, and then they could retire and travel the world and live the lives that they wanted to live. And I don't know about you, but for me, even at 19 years old, as a kid who really didn't know anything about the world, didn't know how to schedule his own doctor's appointment, that just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense to me. And as a 24-year-old grown man with grown man responsibilities, it still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense to pursue that path. And if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that it doesn't make sense for you either. Now, what happened after I dropped out of college? How did I get from being a college dropout, a 19-year-old college dropout with seemingly nothing going for himself, to living overseas and being able to make money by talking to a camera? Right? What was that transition like? How did I become this person who was capable of living this life? Well, let's go back to the start of this channel. So if you go back on my channel, you'll see that the first video that I actually spoke to the camera in was a video, ironically, about why I dropped out of college. And when I made that video, I won't say that I just instantly fell in love with making YouTube videos, but I thought to myself, that's pretty interesting. Let me make another one next week. And I just continued doing that. I just kept making videos one after another, and now I have over 1,000 videos. But before starting YouTube, before I started with YouTube, there was a brief period where I considered, or even tried half-heartedly, I'll admit, other business models. For example, I tried starting a travel blog. Because I told myself, I want to make money from traveling. I want to travel and document my travels and make a living off of that. And I opened up WordPress, and I quickly realized that I didn't know how to make a website. And instead of trying to learn how to make a website, or maybe even hire somebody to do it for me, I gave up. I gave up literally the same day that I came up with the idea, because making a website was simply too hard for me. Another business idea that I had was drop shipping, but I ran into the same problem. I didn't know how to make a website. And so I quit. I quit drop shipping because I didn't know how to make a website, and also I really didn't have the money to invest in drop shipping the way that I would have needed to in order to make money from it. And so through process of elimination, YouTube was basically my only option, because it was the lowest barrier of entry business, and really it still is to this day, because if you're watching this video, that means that you have access to technology, and if you have access to technology, that means that you yourself can film videos. If you can watch videos, you can film them, and if you can film them, you can earn money from them, and I'm living, breathing proof of that. But anyways, I started off with YouTube, and even though YouTube didn't cost any money to start up, I still wanted to invest into my channel because I knew after probably the first 4 or 5 videos and hitting 100 subscribers, yes, 100, not 100,000, not 1,000, after hitting 100 subscribers, I knew I might be onto something here. I very well might be onto something here. So what did I do? I went and got a job working retail. I got a job at H&M, which was and still is my favorite clothing store. And I took pretty much all of the money that I made working at that job and I invested it back into the channel. I bought a MacBook, I bought a camera, I bought microphones, I bought lenses for the camera, I bought editing software on the laptop, Photoshop. I spent probably $3,000 the first year of being a YouTuber. I spent, like I said, a lot of the money that I made from H&M starting my YouTube channel. But eventually there came a point in time when I had all the equipment and software that I could ever possibly need. And I had another decision to make. Just like when I had been in college and I felt like I was putting in work that was not really being rewarded in a way that made sense to me, I found myself in the same predicament. And maybe this is where you are. Maybe you're in the college phase where you're in college and it's just not resonating with you, or maybe you're in this phase of your life where now you're working at a job that you know you don't want to work at for the rest of your life, or even for the next 5 or 6 years. You want to get up out of there, but you don't really have any money. You're not making money online yet, and you're kind of caught in this in-between space where, because of the job, you don't really have the time or the energy to work on your online business the way that you want to. But without the job, you won't really have the money to invest in it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you need to take that leap of faith. And really, I'm speaking to my younger self with this. Okay, honestly, the only regret that I have about taking this next leap of faith was that I didn't do it sooner. Now, what is this next leap of faith? Well, it's pretty obvious. I quit my job at H&M. And when I quit my job at H&M, I had $621.32 to my name. I remember this number in the back of my mind because I journaled it the day that I did it. I journaled about it, and I still go back and read that journal entry every now and then to remind myself of just how far I've come. Because although I'm not rich, I definitely have more than $621.32 to my name. So I quit my job with barely any money. I had around 600 or 700 subscribers at the time, which, if you don't know, you need 1,000 subscribers to get monetized on YouTube. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, which the watch hours, I wasn't even in the ballpark. I probably had 1,000 watch hours, 1,200 watch hours, something along those lines. In other words, I was nowhere close to being monetized. Nowhere close at all. But I knew that because of the leap of faith that I had taken in the past having worked out for me, because I had been rewarded by the universe, by God, by whatever you believe in, by my subconscious mind, whatever, for taking that leap of faith, I knew that I'll probably be rewarded again if I take another leap of faith. So I quit that job, and just a few months later, I was monetized. Just a few months later, I was monetized because quitting that job at H&M freed up so much bandwidth mentally that I was able to work at a rate that I had never previously worked at, because all the time that I would have previously spent at H&M on the clock or commuting to and from H&M, 20-minute drive each way with no traffic, that was all being spent on YouTube. I was spending all of that time on YouTube instead. And so it didn't really take that long after that for me to get monetized. And since then, again, I'm not rich, but I've come a very long way. Right? YouTube has literally taken me across the world. It's taken me across the whole entire world. As a matter of fact, in these past 2 calendar years, 2023 and 2024, I have visited 5 countries. 5 countries. I went to the UK, Belgium, and the Netherlands this year. I actually moved to the Netherlands, which is where I'm filming this video right now. By the way, it is extremely cold out here, but I moved to the Netherlands, I visited the UK and Belgium, and then last year I visited Spain and Switzerland. None of my immediate family has even been to Europe at all. And I'm the youngest one in my immediate family, and I've already been to 5 countries here in Europe. 5 countries at 24 years old. And believe me when I tell you, I am nowhere close to being done with my explorations. But the point that I'm making is that taking these leaps of faith at every single stage of my life has rewarded me fruitfully. Taking the leaps of faith to not pursue the conventional path that everyone else thinks is the most logical for you. There are people that have opinions about your life but don't really know what you want or don't know how to get what you want. But that's a whole different discussion for a whole different day. Taking these leaps of faith and having the courage to not pursue the conventional path that has been laid out for me has allowed me to essentially live the life that I wanted to live. Because like I said earlier, when I had the idea to start the travel blog that lasted literally probably 3 hours, my idea was to make money from traveling. I wanted to earn a living by traveling the world, and look at what I'm doing right now. Albeit not in the way that I anticipated, but it happened. Okay, it happened. And I'm telling you this because if you're still watching the video at this point, then clearly what I'm saying is resonating with you. And I'm here to tell you that it is your turn to take that leap of faith. I don't know what that leap of faith is for you right now, but there is a leap of faith that you need to take. Otherwise, you wouldn't have clicked on this video. You wouldn't have felt compelled to click on this video. YouTube wouldn't have shown you this video. It wouldn't have put it in front of you. There is some sort of leap of faith that you need to take in order to free yourself up to start pursuing the path that you actually came here to pursue. The life that you're leaving behind isn't going anywhere. And that's the sad part. Right? College, your jobs, all of that, that's not going anywhere. So is it really something that you find valuable enough to sacrifice your dreams for? Something that's not going anywhere? You have a limited window of opportunity to pursue the path that you came here to pursue. And I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I did. So if you've made it to this point in the video, then clearly you are very interested in the topic of becoming a digital nomad so that you can travel the world like I do. And if that's the case, be sure to follow me on Instagram at greenxjordan. I have a link in the description and the pinned comment. Follow me on Instagram because I have a major announcement coming very, very soon, exclusively on Instagram and exclusively for people like you who are into the digital nomad / travel lifestyle. Follow me as soon as you possibly can so that you don't miss this exclusive announcement.